Today, the East Brunswick Political Club is hosting an Elect Me debate. Basically, 5 students are going to be running for president, and they'll be delivering their platforms on stage. The audience, after hearing the students talk about their platforms and then answering questions, is going to vote for their favorite candidate. Our judges will be Senator Thompson, Assemblywoman Pinkin, Councilman Jim Wendell, and Board of Education President Todd Simmons. We are going to have a tremendous amount of fun today, and we hope that the best candidate may win.
And an even smaller tax for small businesses, we can keep our 5% unemployment mark, but fill the pockets of workers with higher sustainable wages. If we implement this new tax plan, our economy will be more attractive for foreign companies to choose us as their home base instead of leaving for cheap foreign markets.
Enforcing our immigration laws does not mean that we're anti-immigrant. Rather, we're trying to protect ourselves from external threats, such as ISIS, and we're trying to increase our accountability in the nation. So, how can we improve this immigration situation? In order to do this, we must eliminate federal funding for sanctuary cities, deport criminal illegal aliens, hire 20,000 new Border Patrol agents, and implement an entry-exit visa tracking system and a mandatory E-Verify system.
Barack Obama, we're not a nation that kicks out strivers and dreamers who want to earn their piece of their American dream. We're a nation that finds a way to welcome them. We make them earn it, but we welcome them in as fellow human beings, fellow children of God. As we harness their talents to make
the land of the free and the home of the brave. Our country has become a refuge for thousands of people and has been an upstanding leader since its inception. In order to ensure that we continue along this path and move our nation forward, we must pick the right president for the job, one that shows all the necessary qualities of a strong and able president. I am that candidate. A vote for me is a vote for security, prosperity, and freedom.
According to the IRS, we have 2 types of nonprofits, 501c3s and 501c4s, and I'm here today to address 501c4s. 501c4s can unlimitedly supply campaign funds to super PACs, to candidates. This is not right. This is the reason Bernie Sanders actually has a platform, because he speaks to the American people, because a company cannot buy him out. This is based on the principle of popular sovereignty, based on the principle of equality and democracy. Finally, the last thing I'd like to address is the tax bracket, something that we've all seen unfold within the last couple of years. We've seen in Wall Street people rile over the fact that we have a 1% and a 99%. We've seen in Main Street people camp out in Central Park because they think this is unfair, and that's true, but have we done anything about this?
Can be this champion, then you have to ensure that the American citizens are getting jobs. So what do you plan on doing to ensure that immigrants aren't taking away jobs from Americans and that you can increase accountability in the
Americans don't want to take. So this guest worker program would allow immigrants to come from their nation, work here for a specific period of time, and then go back. And this could be a seasonal visa program where they keep coming back.
I'm Assemblywoman Nancy Pinkin. We were here today for the East Brunswick High School mock debate, and this debate really showed, I think, a demonstration of the talent and the skills and the knowledge that our students in East Brunswick have. They knew so much about world affairs, about the current debate, the presidential debate that's happening. They knew about current issues. They knew about the economy. They were not only able to answer questions in particular and to prepare a speech and a summary, but they were able to take some of the questions and turn them around and switch the debate to other topics when necessary. They really used a good debating process. But the thing that really struck me was that they knew so much about world affairs, so much about the election, and I'm very proud of all the students today. They all did a really impressive job.
I think what was the most apparent in today's debate was how prepared our kids were. They were on topic. They knew a lot about a lot. Each one of the candidates had great questions for each other. They had great answers to our questions. It's clearly something to say about the teachers that they had, and really enjoyed very much listening to them.
I'd like to tell everyone a story. My parents, one works for the state, is a public sector worker. One works for a private company. So I've seen the divide between conservatism
liberalism, how both can be beneficial. And that is why I am running as an independent.
I think it's important for our generation of kids to engage in this conversation, because the issues that we're seeing unfold on television, in real life, are the ones they're going to have to tackle, well, really shortly after they get out of school. They're going to hear about them in college if they go on to college. They're going to address them in their workplace if that's what they're going to do right after school. And as they advance in their careers, they're going to have to address these issues head on. They're going to be our future leaders. The 5 folks we heard from today clearly are going to be our future leaders, and it is important that they think about these issues now.
My 3 policies were immigration reform, climate change, and education. And I feel as if these are prevalent topics, and I discussed several solutions to remediate these topics. Such as, for immigration reform, I focused on an e-verify system. For education, I focused on the reinvigoration of the Common Core. And finally, for climate change, I focused on comprehensive legislation and coming together as a nation. Thank you.
So, in my candidacy, I want to address 3 issues: the economy, specifically the tax system, immigration, and education. So I'm going to quickly go over these 3 sections. So specifically the tax system. The current tax system is intricate and complicated, and you can see this with the 1040 tax system and all the loopholes. So I proposed the 999 tax system, previously stated and proposed by the 2012 Republican candidate, Herman King. So essentially this called for a more simplified tax system. It's very easy to comprehend, and it deducts the maximum amount of taxes right off the bat. So this is essentially better because in our current tax system, we either have to hire an accountant to do our taxes or end up paying the maximum amount to the IRS. So with immigration, I believe that we should be getting the best out of the immigrants coming to the country. And we don't want any criminal illegal aliens, meaning that we don't want immigrants who have committed illegal acts in our country. So I proposed entry-exit visas and the mandatory e-verify system. So that way businesses can determine whether or not this immigrant has committed any illegal action in the past, and that all immigrants are offered equal opportunity with the entry-exit visa.
Political Club was started last year at the high school. We saw a couple of startling statistics before we started. We saw that there was only 21% of New Jersey residents expected to vote in the coming election that year, so in the 2015 election. We were shocked, and we decided that we need to educate more students about how to better get involved in their community and in politics. So we started the Political Club. It got approval early this year, and since then we've been having meetings to teach students about politics while having them get more involved in the various parties, hands-on.
The amount of detention centers. And these people are not the 11 or 12 million illegal immigrants.